company. Ordinarily, two's company. But contrarily, we disagree, no matter what it happens to be.
You're the perverse one.
I agonize.
Night and day with you.
To compromise.
There's no way with you.
I wish I had picked a large boa constrictor, my friend.
Are you trying to tell me something?
You're the perverse one, two's company.
Indisputably.
Two's company.
Irrefutably.
How we embark on old Noah's Ark, pair by pair.
Not so loud.
So ask me whose company.
Whenever I choose company.
I gotta say, two's company.
Except for this affair.
You give me mal de mer.
You know what that means?
Could we let in some fresh air?
No, madam.
Au contraire.
Well, it's very remiss of you, madam.
What am I supposed to have done now?
You forgot to shut the door when we went out.
No, you forgot to shut it.
No, madam.
Yes, Robert.
We'll agree to differ, madam.
You forgot to shut it.
Yes.
Robert! The burglar forgot to shut it. Oh, my God!
But this is monstrous, madam.
Go look around. Now be careful, Robert. He may have a gun. For a minute there, I thought you were going to look around.
Yes, but that can wait, madam. I'll telephone the police.
Don't touch that! Fingerprints. He may have left his fingerprints. If there's one thing I'm an expert at, it's the criminal mind.
Self-praise is no recommendation.
Gloves, Robert. You gotta have gloves before you touch anything. Where are your gloves?
In the hall.
Well, then come on. How can that be? Now, Robert, I'll answer the door, and you go call the police. My God, you are wonderful. How did you know we've been robbed?
Why, have you?
But isn't that why you're here?
No, we were just hoping you might have seen someone hanging about.
But we have been robbed.
So's the third house along.
You're kidding.
And we think he may still be here, officer.
Would you like me to have a look around for you?
Well, it is your job, isn't it?
Would you be so kind, officer, please? Thank you so much. Look upstairs. I'm afraid to. And if you need any help, my butler will help you overpower him. Where are you going, Robert?
It's not my job, madam. Every man to his trade.
Well, there might be more than one of them up there.
That thought had crossed my mind, madam.
Robert, you're going to let that nice policeman go up there all by himself.
That's what he's paid to do, madam.
What are you paid to do?
Pour the drinks, may I?
No, you may not.
I just thought a brandy might help me to steady my nerves, madam.
I don't think a sponge has any nerves. And that's what you are, Robert, a sponge. Oh, my God. Just look. Look what he's done to my manuscript.
Perhaps he started to read it, madam. There may be fingerprints on the,
I heard you the first time.
Just to let you know that... Just to let you know he never got upstairs. He must have been disturbed.
Thank God. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, Robert? Afraid to go upstairs with a policeman yet.
I didn't notice you volunteered.
Officer, I had 200 pounds in this book, in the drawer in the desk, and it's gone. And look at my vase. Look at my favorite vase. He smashed it. I mean, why would you smash a perfectly beautiful vase?
I think I can understand that, madam. I never liked that vase either.
Well, now we've got our first clue. The burglar didn't have any taste either.
Well, I don't know, madam. He did fling your manuscript across the floor.
Well, I'll just show myself out.
Wait a minute, where are you going? Aren't you going to stick around? I mean, aren't you going to look for any clues? I mean, look at this broken vase. He might have cut his hand. His blood group might be someplace in this room.
Mrs. McNabb is a writer of detective fiction. All her characters inhabit a fantasy world.
Officer, just as a matter of interest, would you arrest me if I suddenly hit Robert over the head with what's left of this vase?
We try not to interfere in matrimonial disputes, madam.
No be so silly. We're not married.
Oh, don't worry, I'm broad-minded.
Officer, he's my butler.
Your butler? Well, sorry, I've never come across a butler before.
Visiting hours are from 2 till 4.
There can't be many people who can afford butlers these days.
Especially one who cheats.
Oh, he cheats you, does he?
Oh, yes, I have to write 2 bestsellers a year to recoup my losses.
You must not lie to the police about me.
But you do cheat, Robert.
I do not cheat, madam.
Note the absolute sincerity of the true con man. He could sell sun lamps to the Arabs.
I am not a cheat, officer.
Robert, who are you trying to kid?
Very well, madam. Tell him when I've cheated you.
How far back do you want me to start?
From the beginning.
Officer, can you afford to spend 3 weeks on this case?
I'm afraid not, madam. You will be getting a call from the CID. Routine. Just routine.
You do realize, madam, he's now going to tell a detective that you called me a cheat.
Yes, you know what that means. I mean, police marksmen will be surrounding the house. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they called in the army.
This is no laughing matter. Thanks to you, I'm now suspected of 2 burglaries.
Robert, I called you a cheater, not a criminal.
The police, madam, consider everyone a potential criminal, especially if he happens to be a servant. You should have told the truth about me.
I did tell the truth. You do cheat. At Scrabble.
You never mentioned Scrabble, madam. He now thinks I'm someone who cannot be trusted.
Look, Robert, you didn't burgle the 2 houses, did you?
I did not.
Well, then you have nothing to worry about.
I know about police interrogation methods, madam.
Do you?
Yes. May I, madam?
Oh, yes, please.
Many years ago, madam, a valuable painting was stolen from the mansion of my then employer. Automatically, the police assumed that one of the servants had done it, and I became the chief suspect. I was taken down to the police station for questioning. Madam, if the real criminal had not owned up, madam, I would have confessed. Such was my confusion and fear.
You couldn't have stolen my 200 pounds, flung my manuscript, and broken my vase. Because everything was intact here when we left, and we left together, and we came back together.
Yes, but we didn't remain together, madam.
Well, what are you trying to say? That you left me and came home and burgled the house and then met me in front of the bank?
You did your shopping, madam. I did mine, and I did come back here because I'd left my credit card behind. How many houses along did he say?
Did who say?
He said another house had been burgled. Which one was it? Think, woman, think.
Man, thinking.
He said 3 doors along, didn't he? Well, didn't he?
I don't know. I'm still thinking.
You don't appreciate the gravity of this situation, madam. While I was here, the postman called, madam, and the letter was addressed to number 27. And then number 27 is 3 doors along.
Ah, the plot thickens.
As I pushed it through their letterbox, madam, the front door swung open. That can only mean that the thief was still inside the house, madam. As I closed the door, I was seen by a man across the other side of the road. But don't you see, madam, from his point of view, it must have looked as if I was coming from the house.
You better be careful, Robert. I'm beginning to think you did it.
I know about the police, madam. They're always most suspicious of servants.
I know, but Robert, you're an innocent servant.
Not according to the circumstantial evidence.
Well, okay, we'll bend the evidence. We haven't been downstairs yet.
No, madam, we haven't.
Well, don't you think it's about time we went down there and found out what you stole from your apartment?
Would that be bending the evidence, madam?
Never mind. Just leave it to me.
Leave it to you, madam. I'll be lucky if I get 7 years.
Robert! Look at the glass. Look at the glass. Now, that's how that's how you got in. You smashed the glass and put your hand through.
But why?
So the police wouldn't think that you did it.
Yeah, but I didn't do it.
Robert, how am I going to tell the police what you did do if you didn't do what I'm going to tell them that you did do? Do you follow me?
No, madam.
Do you think you can follow me into your living room?
Yes, madam.
We're starting to communicate. Figures. They haven't touched a thing of yours. Wait a minute. But wait a minute. Did you leave any cash lying around?
Oh, well. Would you mind leaving the room, please, madam?
Why, you gonna take a bath?
Just I'd like to keep my hiding place a secret, madam.
Where is it? In the wall?
Are you going to leave the room, madam?
No, I'm not. If my property is going to be demolished, I'm going to stick around and watch it. And besides, Robert, I mean, time isn't exactly on your side. You know, you're going to be interrogated any minute. And the state you're in, you're going to think of 200 other offenses to be taken into consideration. Robert, what is this? Colditz? I hope you make it to the border, kid. Ooh, where does your tunnel lead to? The Bank of England, huh? How much have you got there?
£200, madam.
Robert, that's the exact amount of money that the burglar stole from me.
This is not your money, madam.
I know, but the police are gonna think it is.
It's no good. I might as well give myself up. Everything's against me.
Give it to me.
Why?
Robert, give it to me. Give it to me. And then they'll think you've been robbed just like I was robbed. What do you want?
The receipts, madam.
Oh. What do you want, interest on this?
That's a good idea, madam.
Look, you're laying my head on a block so you won't confess to a crime that you didn't commit. So don't start with me with receipts and interest.
I'm sorry, madam. I do apologize, madam. What do we do now?
Muss up the room.
Muss up the room?
Yes, just like the burglar did to me upstairs. Now look, you take the desk and I'll take the chest of drawers. Now, just throw everything all over the place. Robert, don't you know anything about burglars?
No, madam.
They start from the bottom up. Look, I'll show you. All right, look, I'll carry on here. You go over to the chest of drawers.
You know, I'll never be able to thank you, madam.
I just don't want you to go to jail, that's all.
Yes, madam.
Just get on with it, will you, Robert?
The window, madam.
You don't need to smash that window. We got one smashed.
We are being watched, madam.
Oh, Robert, for heaven's sakes, what? Well, I guess we can't find it, can we? I mean, I wonder what you did with your Scrabble board. Yeah, isn't that what we're looking for, your Scrabble board?
Ah, yes, madam, the Scrabble board, yes. Unless the burglar took it.
Oh, why didn't we think of that before? The burglar has stolen your Scrabble board. Why don't you go tell the nice policeman?
Yes. We think the burglar's stolen our... We think the burglar has stolen our Scrabble board. What now, madam?
Nonchalance, Robert, nonchalance.
£200, madam.
What about it?
By your feet.
Maybe we should... Is he still there?
Yes, madam.
What is he doing?
He's standing by a panda car talking to another man, probably a detective.
Robert, do you think he knows that I was covering up for you?
Of course he knew, madam. It was written all over his face.
Okay, so now I'm an accomplice. Thank you very much.
May I remind you, madam, we would not be in this nightmare situation at all if you had not lied about my character.
I didn't forget my credit card. I didn't come back to this house and start to play, what do you call it, postman's knock? Now let's get back to the truth. We're both innocent, but we think we're guilty.
No, the police think we're guilty, madam.
All right, the police think we're guilty because we think we're guilty. Even though we aren't guilty, we are because we think we are. Is there a psychiatrist in the house?
I think I see a solution to our problem, madam.
You do?
Yes, furthermore, it would be to our mutual advantage.
What would?
You plead guilty to the burglary.
I beg your pardon?
Well, as you're going to be charged anyway, madam, you might as well be charged with burglary.
I burgled my own house.
To claim on the insurance, madam. It's only you do that, at least one of us will go free.
All right, what were we doing ransacking your room?
Well, being naturally devious, madam, you were pretending to help me to see if anything else had been stolen.
Well, what about all the other stuff I stole from number 27?
Yes, well, you did that in a moment of mental aberration, madam. Undoubtedly, you were not well at the time. Indeed, I shall go into the witness box and testify that for months now you've been unstable.
Go on, Robert. This is terrific. Now I'm a mental case.
I'll say that I pleaded with you to have treatment, especially after one particular case.
What was that case?
When you came at me with a carving knife.
How did I miss?
You suddenly realized what you were doing, madam.
You know, Robert, I really think that you're out of your mind. I mean, would you actually stand by and let the police take me away?
But don't you see, madam, that the resultant publicity would only help you to sell more books? You really ought to be grateful to me.
I know, I've always wanted to go to jail. I've never known quite how to go about it.
We won't come to a prison sentence, madam.
No, it won't, Robert. Because I am not confessing to burgling my own house.
What, do you want me to be arrested? Is that it?
Better you than me.
You know very well I didn't do it, madam.
Neither did I.
Greater love, madam, hath no man but that he lay down his life for his friend.
Okay, so lie down.
Right. I picked up the villain.
Oh. Hey, the butler in there should be able to identify him.
Oh, we'll give him a lift down the station. Hang on a sec.
Right.
Oh, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
I'm Detective Constable Minson.
How do you do?
How do you do? Do you have a butler working for you?
Yes, I do. And he's never been out of my sight for a minute. I mean, not for a minute. I have plenty of witnesses to prove it.
I'm sorry, I don't follow you.
You will, right up to the Supreme Court.
Excuse me, sir. Are you this lady's butler? I said,
You see, you didn't know whether he was or he wasn't.
Pardon?
Well, I mean, you've been given a description of my butler, and yet you couldn't pick him out. Did you hear that, Robert? He couldn't identify you.
Excuse me, sir. Are you the butler?
Don't answer that. Do you have a search warrant?
Search warrant?
Ha 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 ha! The oldest ploy in the world, stalling for time because you don't have a search warrant. What is your excuse?
Excuse?
Yes, for breaking into my home without a search warrant.
As I told you, madam, these men think they're above the law.
Oh, look, please. Just what is going on?
I totally refute the allegation.
What allegation?
I warn you, if you continue with this line of questioning, you're going to look very foolish.
What line of questioning?
Trying to trip you up, Robert.
All I want you to do, sir, is to accompany me to the station.
The evidence is purely circumstantial.
It's not, you know.
They're going to plant some incriminating evidence on me.
Robert, don't worry. I won't let you go.
Well, I'm sorry, madam. I've got to insist.
Very well, I'll go, but on condition that my solicitor is present throughout.
I just don't know what you're talking about, sir. I mean, what do you want a solicitor for?
£100, madam.
£100?
In the desk.
What about it?
Give it to him.
Robert, you're not thinking
Yes,
of bribe.
madam.
Well, it won't work.
It's worth a try, madam.
Okay, but I want no part of this. Is that understood?
I don't understand any of it.
Come off the roof, officer. I know what you're up to. Here.
What's this for?
A donation to police funds. You understand what I mean?
Oh. Well, thank you very much, sir. Very kind of you.
And we'll say no more about it.
That's the way you want it, sir?
Excellent.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Accompany me to the station.
I thought you were going to say no more about it.
When?
Oh, of all the dirty tricks.
May I have a word with you in private?
No, you don't.
You may accept a further donation, madam, if there are no witnesses. The other £100.
Okay, but only if you tell him I'm innocent.
She's innocent. I'll give you this in the hall.
No, I'll take it now, sir. Well, it's most generous of you. I'm sure the superintendent will personally want to thank you.
Good.
Shall we go?
Go.
To the station.
I'm telling you, it won't work, Robert.
Yes, you did tell me that. I don't know when I'll ever see you again.
Well, whenever it is, just rest assured your job will be waiting for you.
Thank you. Before we go, may I say a few last words?
What for?
Well, certainly he's allowed a few last words. I mean, he's a human being, isn't he? Go ahead, Robert. We're listening. Shoot.
I shall bear the grossest miscarriage of justice the world has ever seen, with fortitude and without malice. Furthermore, I shall not seek vengeance, but pray that the souls of those who do not know what they are doing may find the peace which passeth all understanding. I forgive.
Isn't that beautiful? He's forgiven you.
Forgive me for what? All I've asked him to do is go down to the station.
May I pack a suitcase before we go?
Why a suitcase? You'll only be at the station a couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes.
To see if you can identify the thief.
What thief?
The one we think broke into this house on number 39.
39? No, 27.
You posted a letter at number 27, right? The owner came out to thank you and saw a man loitering on the other side of the road. We're hoping that you might have seen him as well.
Yes, but I did. I was tall, well-dressed, carrying a briefcase.
Well, that's the one. He was caught trying to break in a house in the next street.
You really must learn not to panic. My £200, please.
Oh, you want it back, do you?
Yes, I want to give it to a more deserving charity.
His own.
Would you mind looking after that for me, madam?
Certainly, Robert.
I'm going down to the police station. I don't want it stolen. It's a strange thing about Americans, officer. They want to be loved. That's why they create such carnage in the world. I hope you've learned your lesson, madam. Never to jump to conclusions about a person's guilt. And, probably what is more important, never panic. Why are you staring at me, madam?
What are you doing here?
I live here.
Does that mean you haven't been arrested?
You heard what the detective said, madam.
Oh, but I thought that was just a con job to get you down to the station to get a confession out of you. Oh, my God, Robert. What have I done? And being an American, I did so want to be loved.
You knew I was innocent, madam.
I know, but I thought sure the police would come back here with a search warrant and look for the evidence. I mean, I guess I panicked. I kept saying to myself, get rid of the evidence. Get rid of the evidence.
What evidence?
The 200 pounds.
What have you done with my £200, madam?
I put him in the letterbox, the number 27.